So I think it'll wait for the time. Okay, so it has started. Copy link. I can put it on the chat here for you to access. That is where it is being streamed. And when it starts, we'll start recording it as well here. I'm just going to make sure manage recording is working and include captions and recording. And I'll press the start recording when it starts. So we are set. I think we've got around 12 people who have accepted, so we will see. But obviously, it's being cast. Please feel free to share it on LinkedIn, the webcast, the live streaming link, if you would like to.
Just doing it as we speak.
I'm also going to verify on my personal setup that it is working properly. Tweet, there we go, and then paste it here. I'm checking it from my phone, which should be all right, I guess. And there we are, going there. I can see, oh, there's a read. Yeah, it's streaming. I can see it.
Nice.
We're going to paste that in our live stream chat as well. The event is now streaming at 2. In case someone wants to join us, let me admit. Let me make sure I am moving some of the important, only keeping the essential bits here. And view and say admit.
Nice. I'm just reposting it now.
No worries. No worries. I posted on my LinkedIn as well. I think I added. I did add Colm, but he's disappeared. Okay. Ah, he's here. No, that's Fireflies, not so.
Oh yeah, because I guess there was a little bit of mix up with the.
On the URL. That's a very good point, actually. Let me check that no one else is on the other link. Hey, Colm, hi. I'm just checking that no one has accidentally joined the other link. There's a bit of a mix-up, I think. So we will give. Where was that other link? The other link would have been. Do you have the other link that was sent out?
I think it's in Luma, isn't it?
Luma has been modified now with this link. This is the link on Luma, but I know that there was a blast went out with a slightly different link before. So I'm just trying to figure out that no one else is on that other link. Ben's here. Ben, hi.
Hey everyone.
Hi.
Hi.
So
it might be this one. I put it.
Yeah, someone else wanting to join. So let me admit. Mike is here. Oh, we had Colm, but Colm disappeared. He was here, right? Okay.
So you managed to stream it, Monweep?
Yeah, it's streaming. It's streaming at the moment.
Cool.
But I am just saying, like, we had a few joinees, but they joined and then they disappeared. So I'm not sure. Maybe, Ben, if you can check on the group chat if anyone is having any trouble and just make sure they have this link. Okay. Hello, Colm. We can't hear you. You are on mute. I think Colm's on me. We can't hear you. You are on mute. Okay.
No, I'm here now. Thank you.
Oh, you're here now. Okay. We were just, I know there was a bit of a, I think we were trying to set up the right link, and there was a bit of a mix up between us on the link. So we were making sure that everyone has the correct link. Yeah. Okay. Ben says now sent. Okay. I guess thank you all for joining. We will. It's being live streamed, by the way. There is the link where it is being streamed is on YouTube, and I think I pinned it to earlier on in the chat. Not sure if you can see the chat history, but here is the link on YouTube that this is being streamed to. That's the link on YouTube where it is being streamed. So hopefully we'll have other listeners joining us through YouTube. We have probably hello Mike, we haven't probably said hello Apologies. Arsen is here as well. Lovely to see.
Hey, Arsene.
Yeah, we're going to be.
Hey, Mike.
We're going to be a cozy group by the looks of it. So lots of time for us to probably engage with one another. We have John, who would be sharing with us his work in Intelligencia. I think rest of it, I wanted to kind of gather big brains of the colleagues here on, I guess, beyond Claude Flow. Spec Kit is being talked about. I was playing it today. I'm happy to kind of share what I learned today. And I guess beyond that, anyone else wants to talk anything else, it'll be a general discussion for today. That's what's the broad agenda we have. Any comments, starting thoughts from anyone here?
Have you tried Nexus? Anyone? Any experience with it? I can.
No,
yeah.
But I just went down a rabbit hole with the QWen CLI, which is getting it's free. People are saying, I just read one person say it's better than Claude. For
Really?
Agentics.
Very curious.
That's what somebody said. So I have it running there in the background, creating a new protocol. So you see how it does.
Gonna give it a try. It's just, you know, that I've got a cybersecurity expert colleague, and always warned me to try anything from China. That's the problem. You know, there are some backlash against everything, you know, but I don't have the knowledge to confirm.
Okay, on that note, sorry, was anyone else saying something else before we kick off?
No, I just posted the link to QWen.
Lovely. I have been playing with QWen today, and actually I like it. I have to try Gemini CLI afterwards, but yeah, beyond Claude. On that note, then, John, over to you.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm the lead developer and founder of Intelligency.ai, so let me share a screen. Yeah. So a little bit about Intelligency.ai. So you can see everything there. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yep. Cool. I should have just flicked a slide. So the Intelligency.ai. What the concept is let me start on the right slide, because otherwise that make an awful lot of sense. Okay. So Intelligency.ai. So what we're doing is unlocking the hidden value of content management systems and transforming the outdated into content intelligence platforms. So I guess it's good to kind of gauge the audience and actually kind of get a feel for have they had very much experience with CMSs. Does everybody know CMSs?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Cool. So let me pop that back again. So basically, the idea is to at present legacy content management systems dominate the web, and so 68% of all websites run a CMS, and they're kind of built on outmoded infrastructure. My background is as lead developer. I've been lead developer for Fidelity International, Southampton University, Westminster University, and a number of other organizations. And one of the kind of common theme was working with different CMSs and then kind of integrating it into their environments. One of the difficulties is that they're actually quite difficult to manage. And they constantly need upgrading, and when new features come in, they need to have a whole team of developers kind of come in and start work on it. So that the idea is to kind of really change that. The challenge, so take Drupal, which is one I'm really familiar with. There's 300,000 to 400,000 sites running Drupal, so it's and it's actually in end of life status. So they're not actually at Drupal or Acquia, not actually offering any more updates. So total security flaws, and so it's like a hacker's paradise. So other ones that everybody kind of knows are WordPress, Magento, Joomla, Django. There's an awful lot of CMSs, and so the idea is to build a product that an artificial intelligence project using agents that will essentially interact with the CMS and provide features such as migrate, such as voice interactions, which I'll be showing you, and so that people can keep their CMS, but they get a LLM on top of it. So what actually happens is that we take all the content, we put it to a vector database, and then as you're familiar, once you have that the vector database, you have an enormous amount of power. So key capabilities. So we touched upon the legacy CMSs. So AI interaction and search. So semantic search, NLP, generative AI, modern front end. So basically the previous CMS can be at a touch made into modern React front end. Automatic migration, and this point alone, people are spending tens of thousands of dollars to do migrations. So using agents to do the migration is a huge bonus for many organizations. And so the natural language control, avatar interfaces, because you can use the vector databases and the content to drive an avatar. Media generation, so it's not just the content, the text that's being brought in, it's the images and the video as well. And built to expand. So basically, no longer will people have to update their CMS. So the idea is that basically they can just move to the platform, move to Intelligency.ai, and that's it, because they can just manage their content however they like. So vector optimized storage, I guess we touched upon that. And this one is a very interesting one, and I've been we've been having conversations with other developers, and they can offer plugins and modules to extend the capabilities of Intelligency.ai. So market opportunity is absolutely huge. So 21.5 billion in 2020, and then 54 billion by 2030. So this is a go-to-market strategy. So basically, pull and push. All the metadata has all the CMSs, as everybody knows. So that's an easy one to push. To pull, actually, the idea is to kind of create a lovable type situation, and lovable, I guess, drew people in. And so the business model, a very entry level, almost free service, then and there's premium, and then there's the custom for enterprise. So quick work on team. It's predominantly myself. There are two other team members, one VC person, and one marketing person, had a CTO kind of lined up, but kind of things moved on from there. So, and Charles, unfortunately, who we started building the company together, unfortunately has very dramatic health problems and has had to kind of step down. So we're definitely looking for people to get involved with the project. So I guess, well, at that point, any questions before I kind of go to the demo?
Yeah, I've got a question about WordPress. Usually it is a very, very, very long code that WordPress generates. If you look at the, some of the older websites, like 15 years ago, like 5 years ago, some of them haven't been updated, or many people are just adding more plugins and features. How do you manage that with the context memory and so on?
Well, yes, exactly. That's the market. Basically, people just keep on adding things, and they become so one employee comes along, they build something, they leave the whole mess,
The mess.
and then, yeah, and then the next people have to go on. So how this actually works structure-wise is, and kind of neatly kind of goes on to, I'll show you the kind of Miro board. So how things are structured is that there's basically the content management system set, for example, WordPress. So what happens is that the content's on there, and we install a module. And that's the one requirement. So the module handles all the I/O. Is basically an API setup, and the API grabs all the content, and it's totally independent of anything that's kind of gone through. Now, in doing that, a schema is created, and the schema is and this is where agents are perfect, because basically the agent builds the schema, and kind of goes through every nook and cranny. So somebody's kind of built something whereby it's kind of very intricate. The schema and the agent is actually responsible for getting the schema in. And the second component is actually the theme, and that's kind of more the site's actually scanned page by page, and then basically this whole thing is combined so that it has a shape of the whole. So in answer your question, key. This is a content and design system, and so some parts of CMSs, some things have actually been enhanced, and this is where the beauty of plugin architecture comes in. So that say with Drupal, for instance, there's Drupal Commerce, which is a whole kind of e-commerce kind of setup. So a specific plugin can be developed that actually works with that particular module, and then it's passed to the assistant and the agents. And does that kind of cover what you were talking about?
Yeah, this did, because there are some people are working, different people are working on a WordPress website. The SEO expert, the marketing, and everybody adds new plugins on it. The security team adds a security plugin and so on, and it grows and it gets bloated. But you solved it. the problem as far as I can see.
Yes, I mean, essentially that's the kind of thing is that founding it was all about that problem. That was the problem that I kind of encountered many times, and it kind of needs to be solved. Yes, so I'll kind of so this is where the demo starts, and as you know, every single demo always has some issues. So and this is literally the first time that this has had an outing. So so basically registration kind of happens here. As mentioned,
it's $1 per month.
Yes, that's
interesting.
Right. Yeah, the thinking there was that $1 kind of covers the it stops people just totally inundating the site, and if they had to pay something,
Yeah.
yes, that because I guess as everybody's totally aware that it's actually quite all these things are quite expensive once they get going and once this thing starts scaling. So hence why the premium one immediately goes to $29 a month, and so on and so forth. But obviously this is kind of flexible and to be kind of I guess well actually let's go totally through the this obviously is just set up so that for ease of use rather than this is set up for ease of use rather than kind of any so I'm just going to kind of create an account here. Right, so basically logged in, and as you see, basically it's kind of like a WhatsApp style interface, and the idea is to actually collaborate. So people can actually collaborate in a kind of WhatsApp style, and one feature that we're kind of a really good feature is that we're going to actually put a flag up here, and that flag will kind of represent the language you're in. So if you have a beige flag here, everything will come to you in English. But say you had a French flag on the other side, then you'd receive it in French, which is a really neat feature. So what we're going to do is firstly we're going to connect to a site, and so I'm going to so that so is this site is we're going to connect the site. Now this again is set up.
Can it be any site, or that you auto detect what it is, or you have to basically reconfigure what site you can select?
Well, this site has been set up specifically, and it's running the module. So it's running the module for the I/O that we discussed. Now, for ease of use, it has there's the security hasn't been set up, but basically the and well as we go, but basically what we do is we kind of connect to the site, and so that this one is called
John, could you just randomly take a site, or is it not possible?
But no, it has to be running the module.
Right.
So but basically this is the core of the there. I guess theoretically it would be possible to actually kind of build a site, but I guess we'd have to really use our agentic skills there to basically take all the content. But if you think about it, many sites actually don't present all their content. A lot of sites, much of the content is unpublished. And also, I think people probably, if they're subscribing to the service, they probably would want some level of reassurance that they are in control of the situation. Yes, so what we do is we could put a description here. This is a culinary site with nice recipes. Okay, and you'll see here this function isn't working, but we can also drop a SQL database on there. So one thing that could be done is to dump the database on there, and that would perform something very similar to what we've got done. So yeah, so as you see, we basically connected successfully, and then if we click here, we can actually see the site, and I guess it's chosen sort of dinner time, so everybody's probably going to get super hungry now, so this is the site that's kind of been set up as an example site, and it has articles and recipes and pages, and as you probably see where this is going, a lot of these images are generative, and that's what we do. So for instance, they've created here ancient Roman cooking and culinary journey through time, and it's written the article, and so let's test everything out. So putting it to the floor, guys. What's everybody having for dinner tonight? Should we do the recipe? So we got a recipe that they want to
Carbonara.
Oh, hi, Leah.
Carbonara. Let's do carbonara.
Carbonara. Okay. Please, can I have a recipe for carbonara? Okay. And then we hit send. And so what's actually happening now is we hopefully if we refresh the page, and we go to our recipes, and
it should appear so quickly as a last item.
Yeah. It did actually.
Maybe spending.
So
yes.
So what was the expected outcome? Is it that it would find a recipe, or
yeah, well, but basically it's kind of generates the recipe. So and actually maybe I've just maybe I was actually privy to it, because kind of looking at the back end, it seems to have done it. So so maybe what's happened is that it's actually done it, and I was just kind of jumping the gut. So yeah, so let's have a look at it. Let's do a refresh it. There we go. There we go. Yeah.
Nice.
It did work. Yeah, so I got to trust the technology, right?
The demo gods are smiling.
Yeah. But look at this. So not only do we get kind of the recipe here, but we get a lovely image, but we also get like the preparation time, the cooking time, the number of servings, difficulty, cook the spaghetti in a large pot, and so on and so forth. And so what's actually happened is it's worked out the schema of the as mentioned, it's worked out the schema of the website, and then generative AI takes over, and so the cool thing is that basically, and so if we actually log into the site and have a kind of look at what's going on behind the scenes, so this is actually the website itself. This is the back end, and so let's see what's happened. And so it's because it's got the schema, it's got the recipe name, language preparation time, cooking time, servings, difficulty. It's taken it's generated that image based on the prompt. It's got the summary, and it started putting the ingredients in there, and the directions. And so the question obviously comes up, how did it get that schema? Well, so basically what it's done is it's analyzed these content types here, and so we've got the recipe one, and so part of the API that actually goes and gets all this information and stores it against the site. So the agent actually gets all these types of fields, and also the field type, which is obviously really important, and it is really sophisticated, and it's actually got entity references, which is referenced fields, so it can actually dive down multiple fields, and then it puts it all together. And so on this very simple prompt, it's able to pull all that in together, and to kind of show you that this is kind of so we can ask it to do an article. So let's have an article on well, is there some type of cooking that anybody's interested in? I was going to
yeah. What so anything I can give you
any type of cooking, yeah.
Right. Okay, I'm going to give you something very different. Assamese fish curry.
Oh, righty. Well, what we can do is the article on, because it's an article, the history of which type of fish curry?
So just type ASSAMESE. Alpha Sierra Sierra.
So Alpha Zero.
Alpha Sierra Sierra.
Maybe pop it in the chat.
Yeah, I'll put it on the chat. That'll be easy. Yeah, it's going to be.
Let's use the computers.
Okay, there you go.
Okay.
Curry, spelling mistake. Yeah.
I'm muted.
Okay.
So you save like half an hour content upload with this, at least.
Yeah, because if you had to kind of work out the recipe and stuff like that. So I think this one's probably best as a recipe rather than an article. So let's have a recipe for
the spelling mistake at the end, I think curry.
Alrighty. Well, let's see if it works with the spelling mistake. So I couldn't have possibly recipe for.
It's an edge case testing.
Yeah, let's see if, so what we have to do is we have to believe a little bit, and kind of what we're talking about. Carrie, is that you might be having that tonight?
What this does, so I think I'm looking at the value proposition. The value proposition is that you are effectively allowing organizations to be consistent with their CMS underlying structures, but you're allowing them to create a new format using new technologies without having to bother about, that those systems will never be supported, are no longer supported, or they can't. It's an expensive process to upgrade to new systems to experience this. That's probably that's the value proposition here.
Yes, that's it, because I guess the thing is that this can be used with any type of system. It's not just kind of not just not just recipe sites. So let's it's on the back end. So,
and I guess for a validation of the content, you can always put human in the loop to make sure the content that is generated is sensible with the experts, right? But
yes, that's the idea. Is that and that so that yeah, maybe this is one that's it's happened on the back end. It's
Hi, Curry was there.
oh, did you see something?
Just the Thai, the original.
Oh, right. Yeah. 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 I guess we did get our glitch.
That's okay. I mean, I think we were just pushing the limits probably. But
yeah. So I guess so. Essentially, you're totally right. So basically, what it does is it basically works with any large CMS. That's the idea, and it's using agentic technology to the max. It's kind of like and so to kind of wrap things up, because the team's so small, we really need help kind of delivering this, and because it's an exciting opportunity. There's huge potential. Could be hugely potentially lucrative as well, because every organization that uses a CMS potentially could be a customer.
Yeah, and can you pull in live data? So let's say that there is a football news site, and you want some up-to-date game results in the articles.
Well, it's a good feature. I mean, that's the kind of where we're actually at, is that the sky's the limit, because if you think of because we're obviously using agents, but we've also kind of got a use case for those agents, and I kind of mentioned also about the actual marketplace. So what people can do is kind of write additional plugins, so that if you wanted a football result site, you can just go to the marketplace and have the live feed, and then plug that in.
Nice one. Yeah, brilliant.
Thank you, John. Any questions from anyone else? If not, thank you very much for this.
Thanks.
I think what we will do, John, is because obviously it's recorded, we are going to socialize it in the wider group as well.
Mm-hmm.
So if anyone is interested, then I think we can, they'll connect. So I appreciate the show.
Yeah.
On that note, then, shall we go over to some pseudo live coding? Maybe I think the theme of the week is spec code, or last few weeks is Spec Kit. And I think some of us have tried QWen. Do we want to change some ideas? I can show something I've been up to today. But is there anything anyone else would like to discuss today around recent developments or anything else?
I mean, Spec would be nice. Yeah.
Sorry, Vince.
No, just the spec idea is exciting. Calm.
Yeah, the other thing on the QWen is the GLM model that people are talking about. I don't know if you've seen that, which is also supposed to be a superior model. That is, from what I'm reading, and I haven't tried it yet, but it's almost as good as Claude, and it's $9 a month. So for people who are getting something you need to test out, and just wait for the hype, but Claude is getting, like Codex, are going to get a run for their money with the introduction of nearly as good models. The GLM 4.5 is one.
GLM 4.5. Okay. Is it this one? Okay. Is this the one you were referring to?
GLM 4.5, that's right.
Okay, let's look what it is. All right. Have you tried this? Do you want to show us something? If you have tried.
I've been using, what I've tried today was QWen. I was trying to build something for me, but not GLM yet. That's the next thing I'm going to test. You set it up with GLM 4.5. You can add it into Claude Code or Rue or Klein if you're using any of those.
Okay. Oh, wow, that's powerful.
If you go to z.ai, you'll see there's an option there to try to get the API.
How do I spell that? Z.ai? Is that the
Yeah,
one?
that's exactly
Just
it.
one letter. V.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
There's well.
AI slides as well. Okay.
And then up there on the right, you see up there the API.
Yeah. Okay, interesting. We just found £3. Okay. We'll do that later on. Right. It's what maybe this is something we explore for our next week, next session. Is there anything that you want us to particularly look into for this based on your initial review?
I mean, for me, it's again because it's a cost thing. Claude Code the plans are quite expensive on Pro. So if there's something that can approximate it, or to me, it's like you have lots of different projects. If something there's a model that can do the job, you'll just use it. So it's just investigating whether this model has the power to build as almost as good as Claude as the Anthropic models.
Okay, now I'm gonna look into it. I've already forked it. Let's
So
see.
just to, I'm a little bit confused. So this is not the QWen one. So GLM is different provider.
It is a different one. Yeah.
Because QWen is Alibaba.
Correct.
And GLM is a smaller
Chinese
company.
Looks like still Chinese, I think. Yeah, it is.
Yes, still Chinese.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, they're two different things. So I was trying out QWen and just using the CLI. It has a lot of free. The QWen CLI, when you just install it, it has quite a large amount of tokens viewed on a daily basis, similar to Gemini. And then I'm running tests with that, and then with GLM as a replacement model for Claude Code or for the Claude Code Pro.
Mm-hmm.
And I found like I just had to. I mean, I went through the journey today, so I'll put it on the chat, but I put on our main chat. But this is basically, it's public now. I've made it public, but this is what I was doing. I had some free time this afternoon, so I was playing along. But I've created this tinkering on Spec Kit. So Spec Kit is obviously where did Spec Kit go? It's over here. Let me just pull it across. not this one. So there is Spec Kit, which is actually, give me a second, please. I'm going to pull it across. There is a GitHub for Spec Kit, which I need to find out. So if I go to GitHub, Spec Kit, so that's Spec Kit. Actually, I already had it open. I just didn't notice it. So I wanted to, people have been talking about Spec Kit for the spec-based data development for the last few weeks. I remember Dave has been in our main foundation has been talking about it. This was released, I think, a few weeks ago. All around. Have you guys come across this code base before? So this kind of follows through on spec-driven development. So I did a comparison, I mean, just roughly to say between Cloudflow and Spec Kit, what is it, right? And I use the rubric prompt to kind of be an evidence-driven analyst and assess it. And effectively, where it comes to is, I need to charge my laptop. Coming low is what you see on the table here. So similar to Cloudflow, but it's easier to get started beyond vibe coding, because it's not vibe coding, and I'll show you what I mean by that. Ruben, for example, had said that the real engineering is about the specs and creating the specs in a proper manner. And generally, we are tempted in Cloudflow to just go multiple agents and push them out, right? And we start with the default out-of-the-box cloud.md file. But here, what I said is a moderately structured approach, right? And similar, but I think it's a great starting point. Obviously, this is much more powerful, Cloudflow. So I've shared this link on our teams on our WhatsApp chat. So might want to have a look on it, but I will put it on the chat here anyways, if you want to look. But let's go back to some demonstration of what I did. So I'm going to put it on the chat here. So what did I do today? I did the following. I looked at that analysis and I said, I followed the installation process and I installed the CLI called Specifies CLI, and went through this process of creating a constitution. So constitutions like, what are the principles that should be followed to do the piece of work? And I guess for testing this, I use this. Then I said create a specification, which is like, and my specification was like I had a lot of receipts on my Google Drive. So if I go back to what I actually did, which is I believe here, if I go into the README file here, so hopefully you can see my screen okay. So this was meant to demonstrate the usage of Spec Kit framework, etc., etc. And I use QWen. The requirement was a Google Drive receipt parser application. So it went through the process of kind of really, actually the best way to show this probably would be this. It goes through a process of initially, it's a guided process. So you define the requirements and it's a question and answer process. And you can go through a process of initially, shall I say, I think I might actually have, I'm moving around a little bit, but here it is. So you start the specification process of the feature specifications. Then because there are ambiguities, especially on the specifications, is a process of clarifying the ambiguities to targeted question answer. So this is where there's a question answering process that happens between the AI and I as the human. So whereas we created with a broad set of specifications, that's resolved from an ambiguity point of view, then detailed implementation plans are created, right? So phase-wise, how we're going to proceed. And then within every phase, there are structured tasks that are created, and then we start the implementation process. So what do I mean by that? I mean this is if we go in here, I must have some empty files over here, which is, let's look at this stuff here, Spec Kit tinkering. Right, I think it moved the files. So broadly speaking, you see, let's start with the research. So there was a research done about what technology, what OCR solution, what database solution, etc., what authentication patterns, what database services process. That research is then effectively So we started a specification. So we said, this was my specification. This is the question answer process that we went through. Then you do the research. Then please stop me, right, if I'm going too much around the bits. But
yeah, just one question, Mondvik. That is it anything related to Spark?
It's similar. It's similar, but this is basically Spark, and there is this one. So you could go down about here, because it is not Cloud Flow. So rules frameworks are not used. It is using effectively what GitHub have published in terms of this process that you see here, of creating the constitutions. The constitution, therefore, this is very interesting. The constitution is this. Oh, this is where it is all hidden. I missed it. So this is all the stuff. So constitution talks about like code quality standards, testing excellence, user.
There's like the Claude MD.
Exactly.
So the foundation, yeah.
Yeah, but you can basically see it now. It's a bit more easier to grasp what they're doing, because based on the constitution, then when we do all of this stuff, it research and spec, it creates all of these MD files, and it builds one on top of the other. Right, and so what did we create so far? So what we have created, without taking too much time here, is the following. So if I go back here, so current state is that we went through this. I basically created a specification set. The planning was done. We've created probably someone wants to join. Let me admit who wants to join. Okay, I have just admitted. And then, but I think what I like this one is that if we want to just be in control of the process, it is much easier. So it's still not vibe coding, because it's like we need to know the architectural patterns. We need to have the thing first, rather than going to cursor and saying, build me this.
Absolutely,
so, From that point of view, I think this, and also the fact that we have like this much of usage free of charge in QWen, which is quite amazing. Like that, I haven't paid anything at the moment to do all of this work. So 2,000 requests per day, 60 requests per minute rate limit. All I had to do was authenticate to QWen. And I mean, I did have, to be honest with you, I did have Claude open here, because I basically asked the questions of Claude, but I didn't do the building in Claude. I did. So this is a Claude session. I have on the same terminal, and all of these are QWen sessions. But this is Claude. This is Claude code, but this is
the same repository.
Yeah. So, and what was also good about this is that we can use many CLIs. And what do I mean by that CLI? Many CLIs is we can use all of these CLIs are supported.
Wow.
So we can use Gemini CLI in open code. So if you think about it, we have a project, and back to the question from Colm, right? We could have multiple CLIs open on the same project and just switch between one and the other if we want to. So
if you are bored, then you can make your life more interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy.
Colm, you got your hand up, so I didn't see. Please ask away. You're on mute. Not sure. I can't hear you. Can anyone else hear?
Let me try it this way. Can you hear me
You're
now?
back. You're back. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, very interesting to see that, and yeah, having good specs, of course, builds a good product. But the problem fundamentally that I find with LLMs is their hallucination. So no matter how you break down a task, unless you have some deterministic way of coming back to say, was it for something else to test whether it was done, you really have no way of knowing that it actually did the work. So, in your use of it, have you found it superior to being able to reduce hallucinations in the code that, like, says, in other words, I've tested it, code, it's all passed, it's all running, the typical stuff.
So I haven't validated it because I haven't fully built it yet, but the gut feeling I had was that it is much more interactive. I was in control of what I was doing. The other thing is that it does adopt in the constitution. You can specify test-driven development approaches. So I think I go back to the constitution file, which is somewhere, I'm just going to figure out where it is actually. I think it's on the specify, memory, and constitution.md, right? So it does talk about, so you could put controls in there. It was there somewhere. I don't, test driven. Yeah, it was there. I can't figure out which file it was on, but you can put the guardrails around it. So I guess I only started use it for a couple of hours this afternoon. But, it's definitely worth exploring, I think. So as an option beyond Spark, Cloudflow, and others, because those are like the main thing about Cloudflow or others is you got to get the scaffolding right. And I think small projects for, I mean, relatively interactive proof of concept, this kind of setup might be more suitable than going full guns on more sophisticated mechanisms like Cloudflow. This is my personal view.
Okay.
That's what I had to share, to be honest. So over to the group for anything else.
I have something I can show that I've been working on if you're interested. And it's to do with actually just on that point around testing. Would you like to see it?
Yeah,
sure.
Oh, yeah.
Let me share. So I've been creating some web apps, and just like I spoke about, if you said to it, create a website, and it's got 50 pages on it, and 100 links, and 30 buttons, you're absolutely guaranteed that those buttons, many of those buttons, and even many of those pages will not even be created. So so I built this. There's a tool that you may be aware of called Playwright, and that's a developer's tool to test anything that you can click. And which screen can you see? I just want to say, let me see, show my screen anyway. Yeah, there you go. So I built this tool that goes over Playwright, and it makes it easy for anybody to be able to just test in plain English, right? So there are wrappers over these things, like I said, already existing, but this just, in my experience, just makes it a little easier. And I've just been playing with it here. So it's simple to install. You just it's an npx command to install it, and I'm just going down here to the commands. Just these commands, just pop those in, and it will be available as an MCP in there it is there, UI probe, and there it is. So it's available as an MCP. So that means, and it also comes with a test website, right? So that's what this is. So if you say there's a command there to spin up a test server, and it's there for you to, without trying it on your own website first, right? But now what I can do is just give it a normal language and say, find the sign up form and fill it, right? Now you can see here on the test website it says forms testing. So there's nothing here actually to tell it what it is. There's a sign up form there actually, but you don't actually have to tell it exactly what it is, and neither to tell it what to fill it up with. And how does it do that? Well, first of all, it goes to the page and it figures out everything that's on the page, and then it uses uses an LLM or an API to your model to figure out what those things on the page are and what those controls on the page might be. And it also uses Playwright itself to do part of that. So that's what it's doing right now. You can see it's filling up this this page or this form. It found the sign up form, and now it's filling it in. and it should select all of those, and then click on it. This tells me whether it succeeds or fails in doing that. So you can guess it'll return back to the person whether it was true or not, whether it filled it in. So it's saying that it filled it, and it runs in both headless and non-headless mode. So I just have it displaying at the moment so you can see it, but you can just run it. And again, you can just say, so if you just built a website, you can say, test all the buttons on the website, right? And you can be specific about the page, or you can say, or you just want to make sure using UI Probe, you know, and then they'll go through the entire website and find every single button and click on it, and then return back to your CLI a JSON response that you can be then reinterpreted back by your CLI. So you could just say, I could have just said, test all the buttons on the website using UI Probe and then fix them. So that means they're all, you know, they're all working, and then I can just run the test again. That's the basics. Go ahead.
Is it different from Playwright or Puppeteer?
It's Playwright is it uses Playwright to do part of the breakdown of what's on the page, but then it uses what it can at Playwright, and anything it can't figure out with Playwright, it passes to the LLM to figure out what's on the page. So the difference between this and Playwright is that if it doesn't matter if something has changed on the page or if you've changed anything or not, it doesn't care if a name of a button or a text on it has changed. It'll go back in, it'll find out what it is, determine what the right thing is, and then fill it in correctly. So you can make out, so it's easy. Typically retesting is difficult. And Playwright is more of a developer tool. So I wrote this for less technical people than people. Obviously, Playwright does a great job, but this is for less technical people like product managers, product builders, a lot of people who just that are not specifically engineers.
Brilliant. Yeah, very cool.
So I'm using it to test. I'm just using it to test my own stuff. So it's all working for me so far. I'm sure it has some issues. It's out there on GitHub. So I'll just paste in the link here, and you can give it a shot if you're building any sort of web app. Thank you.
Thanks, Colm. This you open sourced it.
Yep, sure.
Nice one. I can see that, yeah.
Mate, you're on mute. You're on mute. You're on mute.
Yeah, I keep saying that, and I'm on mute now. So no, I was saying thank you very much, Colm. That's great. I guess we are to an hour now. So anything else we want to talk about today? I also noticed Yusuf, so we can't see you. So hello. Would you like to briefly introduce yourself or what you do?
Yeah, I'm on the train coming to Waterloo, so I'm not sure how my signal is gonna hold it, but I'll do a introduction. So yeah, I'm a data and AI and business transformation consultant at UBS Digital. So I've recently just started there. Previously, I've been a BA throughout my career. I've worked predominantly in the public sector. That was at Ex-Atlas. And with AI, I take a personal interest in it. So I try to use as many tools as I can. Anything new, see what the nuances are, what I can use, what different use cases I can apply to them. And in that year, so I was trying to attend as many events as I can. So that's how I came up with the Agentics Foundation. And just yesterday as well, I was at the TESOL AI event, which I think I'll be speaking a bit more about tomorrow. But yeah, a bit long-winded, but yeah, that's a intro about that.
I look forward to. I'm presuming you are in our group, in the WhatsApp group, or the Discord.
Yeah, I'm in the website. Yeah,
we'll continue that.
I sent you the link to join. You managed to join already?
I think I've signed up for it. Do you mean the WhatsApp group or the
WhatsApp? Yeah, the WhatsApp group.
Yeah, I'm in the WhatsApp group.
It's you, Ryan. Okay.
Yeah. I have another project, customer success.
That note, I'm going to put you on mute because there's a bit of noise. Okay. Unless there is anything else, so thank you all, and see you those who are there tomorrow. Hopefully we'll try to live cast it, and otherwise in 2 weeks' time, and then we'll continue chatting on our groups. So thank you. Have a nice evening.
Sure.
Thank
Thanks,
you very
guys.
much. Thanks for organizing, guys.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye-bye.